Now at 5, a fallen heroes procession. Residents lined the sides of the streets as the body of KCK officer Hunter Simonsik was laid to rest today. The Spiva Center unveils a new gallery featuring local veterans.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. takes the hot seat on Capitol Hill. I'm Natalie Brand with his testimony as lawmakers press him on the CDC shakeup and changes to vaccine policy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A hero's farewell. The community turns out to pay their respects one final time for a fallen Kansas City, Kansas police officer. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Samantha Walker. The funeral procession for Officer Hunter Simonsik took place today in Parsons, Kansas. Residents and law enforcement officials lined Main Street as the procession made its way to and from St. Patrick's Catholic Church. Due to the anticipated turnout, city officials closed many of the roads in the area of the procession. Officer Simonsik was killed in the line of duty on August 26 during a police pursuit in Kansas City. Residents were encouraged to line the streets during a funeral procession with American flags and blue ribbons in remembrance of Officer Simonsik. We'll have more on this story tonight at 6. The Spiva Center for Arts is unveiling a gallery this evening. The gallery, titled The Freedom Endeavor, features portraits of local veterans holding pictures of themselves when they were serving in the military. Officials from the exhibit say the gallery is a way to remember history and those who fought for our freedoms.
Each one of the tags that are next to each veteran has a QR code. Each veteran was also interviewed, and so you can listen to those interviews. So as you're walking around, you can actually hear the voices and the stories of these people and what they experienced.
The exhibit will be open to the public starting this evening. A reception will take place for this exhibit the evening of September 10th. $1.7 billion. The Powerball drawing this Saturday will be one of the highest it's ever been. Life-changing money. The odds of winning the Powerball, according to the Powerball website, is 1 in over 290 million. Experts say the best thing to do with the money is to invest and save.
Give my husband a house, the boat he wants, and then between the two of us, we had 12 kids, 12 grandkids, put money aside for them.
There's a lot of things. If I won the lottery, probably buy one of my dream cars or a house or take a good vacation to like Bahamas.
Later, we'll speak with a wealth management expert from Arvis Bank about best practices with your winnings. An old Greyhound racetrack in Frontenac is getting a new life. The Camptown Greyhound Park sat empty for more than a decade after dog races ended in the late 1990s. Now, under new ownership, the Camptown event space is being transformed on Highway 69. Management says the property will host concerts, festivals, farm shows, and even fireworks. Construction on Phase 1 is nearly complete, with plans to make the venue a one-stop shop for entertainment in Southeast Kansas. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now joins us.
Well, you can see there's not much going on outside right now. We've got mostly clear skies. We've had that most of the day thanks to our cold front that passed yesterday. We had a much cooler day. Now, we're not quite out of the woods yet with rain chances. As you can see, as we head through tonight, those slight chances start to grow. By the time we hit 7 a.m., we're looking at a 20% chance, which just means more of us will get rain throughout the day. Now, this continues to go up to 40% chance by about 11 a.m. So we are seeing more widespread chances of rain across the day. And again, later in the afternoon, it is going to be more widespread than isolated to scattered chances in the morning. We're not expecting a severe threat. As you can see, now this could always change as we get a little bit closer to the evening storms on Friday. But for most of us, clear. We do have a slight risk for some showers, but other areas are going to be expecting stronger storms. Now all this rain starts to push in, as you can see, overnight tonight. I'm going to have those details coming up.
Thanks, Lindsay. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is testifying on Capitol Hill for the first time since the massive shakeup at the CDC. It comes as a large number of both current and former public health officials call for his resignation. CBS's Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
Testifying before lawmakers Thursday, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. defended last week's shakeup at the nation's top health agency.
We are the sickest country in the world, That's why we have to fire people at CDC.
The ranking Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee pressed him on the firing of CDC Director Susan Monteraz.
Did you, in fact, do what Director Monteraz said you did, which is tell her to just go along with vaccine recommendations, even if she didn't think such recommendations aligned with scientific evidence?
No, I did not.
Ahead of the hearing, a letter from 1,000 current and former HHS staffers called for Secretary Kennedy to step down, arguing his actions are compromising public health.
On behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time.
The Trump administration has defended Kennedy, even as public health experts sound the alarm over new guidelines restricting eligibility for COVID vaccines and his overhaul of a key vaccine advisory panel.
Republican Senators Bill Cassidy and John Barrasso, who are also doctors, voiced their concerns during the hearing.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
There are real concerns that safe, proven vaccines like measles, like hepatitis B and others could be in jeopardy.
Another GOP doctor, Senator Roger Marshall, defended Kennedy.
What you and I are fighting for is we want to empower parents to make these decisions.
Kennedy testified today HHS is enacting a, quote, once-in-a-generation shift to tackle the root causes of chronic disease. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
In June, Kennedy removed all 17 members of the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices, or ACIP, and replaced them with hand-picked officials. That panel is set to meet later this month to consider updated vaccine recommendations. While still ahead, a treatment researchers say could bring sinus relief.
Sick of sinus issues that won't go away? I'm Tina Kraus with the type of treatment researchers say could bring the most relief.
And next in Health Watch, see how extreme morning sickness affects the emotional conditions of expectant mothers. Topping today's Health Watch, new hope for millions suffering with chronic sinusitis, as major study reveals what researchers say may be the best path to treatment. CBS's Tina Cross has the story from London.
Sinus sufferers know the feeling, that constant pressure, congestion, and never-ending runny nose that comes with chronic sinusitis.
In many ways, it feels a little bit like having a really bad cold, but one that simply goes on, and symptoms characteristically will last for at least 12 weeks and often many years.
Professor Claire Hopkins helped lead a UK study to find what treatment works best.
We recruited over 500 patients from 20 different hospitals in the UK. They were all diagnosed as having chronic rhinosinusitis. They had tried simple treatments such as nasal sprays and saline rinsing.
Patients were given either a 3-month course of low-dose antibiotics, a placebo, or sinus surgery, and researchers say surgery delivered the best results.
At least 87% of the patients noticed significant improvement at the 6-month follow-up.
Those on antibiotics or on the placebo had similar outcomes, suggesting medication may not make much of a difference. What led you to consider surgery?
Basically, frustration with any other treatment.
Jim Boardman had sinus surgery 7 years ago and says he wishes he would have done it sooner.
It is absolutely clear that surgery is the way forward. And if you get the right surgery at the right time, it is a real improvement.
Researchers are now looking at the cost-effectiveness of surgery and tracking patients long-term to see just how long the benefits last. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
An estimated 250,000 patients with chronic sinusitis undergo surgery for it every year. That's according to a study published in the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine. Well, extreme morning sickness during pregnancy takes a severe emotional and physical toll on mothers. A Flinders University survey found more than half of expectant mothers with extreme morning sickness said they considered terminating their pregnancy, and 9 in 10 say they considered not having more children. The condition also affected patients' work, their relationship with their families, and their mental health. That's a look at today's top health news. A little later, the reasons people are taking vacations in convents.
And we do have more rain moving in tomorrow. I'll have those details coming up. Today was just a phenomenal day. It was a chilly start We also had some overcast skies, but we can go ahead and take a look outside right now. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort out in Seneca, Missouri. Not a cloud in sight out there this afternoon. So far, it has been a gorgeous day. Temperatures were much cooler today than yesterday. We were about 1 to even 10 degrees cooler. You can see in our northern counties, much cooler today. Now temperatures only got up to the low 80s. We hit about 81 degrees. We also saw not a lot of clouds or rain today. So overall, it just was a picture perfect semi-fall day. We did have some warmer temperatures, but tonight we're going to get down into the low 60s. Clouds start to increase as well because we have more rain coming on Friday. We also have another front that's going to be pushing through, so most of the day is going to be pretty cloudy, and we also have those scattered shower chances. So as we go ahead through our future track, clouds start to push in by about 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. You can see winds are out of the south, or you can see a little variable. We got a lot going on there with winds. Now, as the front pushes through, we are going to see those winds shifting out of the north, and then scattered showers push in along I-44 out in Oklahoma. This is through the early morning hours, about 4 or 5 a.m. More rain pushes through throughout the day. Now, all of these showers that you can see right now, the light to medium green, that's going to be very light to maybe moderate showers in some of the heaviest areas out in, you can see Coffeyville, Independence area might get some moderate showers north of Parsons as well. Joplin's just getting a light mist by about 8 a.m. and then way far up to the north of us and up north of Yates Center. Heavier rain settles in our northern cities. Now this is going to be through late morning, early afternoon. Band of heavy rain just sits over most of the day in those northern counties. It does start to pull further south by late afternoon, early evening. So around 9 p.m., a lot of us in our central and northern counties are getting some moderate to maybe even heavy rain showers and likely a couple of thunderstorms, though non-severe. We aren't expecting any severe weather. You can see where our severe threat is out to the east of us and even in Arkansas, but in our area, we are clear of any potential for severe weather. So overall, love getting rain. We don't like severe weather threat, so tomorrow is going to be great. Over the weekend, 75 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday, and much nicer. We do have a few clouds moving in, but overall it is going to be a very fall-like weekend. But taking a look later into the week and next weekend, back to those upper 80s, near 90-degree temperatures, likely not going to hit anywhere in the 90s, but we're getting close, and that's going to be our last taste of summer next week and next weekend before we really do start to see fall settling in.
Yeah, I know this is what we call false fall, but I have been embracing it and enjoying it nonetheless.
Oh, me as well.
I was wearing a sweater this morning when it was still that little bit of chilly.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I'm pretending it's fall.
I'm right there with you. I've already decorated my house for fall.
I'm holding off a little bit, but
Okay.
it's coming. It is coming. Thanks so much, Lindsay. Well, coming. Topping today's Consumer Watch. Vacation season may be winding down, but for some Americans, there's a new, well, old type of getaway that's gaining traction around the country. CBS's Jared Hill has a look at an apparent rise in people turning to religious centers for a moment of quiet reflection.
Amid the nearly century-old gardens at Loyola Jesuit Center,
I think a space like this, it strips everything away.
there's something new taking shape.
The surprising number for me is that our growth rate is 25% new attendees over the last year.
The Catholic retreat space joins convents, monasteries, and religious homes nationwide that seem to be seeing a spike in interest.
I wanted a break. I wanted to silence the noise around me.
Carrie Murphy says she's not particularly religious, but she started the year with 3 days of silence at a monastery outside of Atlanta.
I needed someone to pull me away from my phone, from all my devices.
A content creator, Murphy posted about the experience on her blog. While she says that wasn't initially part of the plan, the reaction was overwhelming.
People wanted more information. They wanted in.
What do you think when you hear that young people who maybe aren't Catholic or connected to religion, are seeking spaces like this?
Everybody's looking for answers, and sometimes you get the answers from walking the gardens.
At Loyola, the new attention inspired the creation of a shorter silent retreat. 24 hours of quiet is getting booked 6 months in advance.
We're seeking what's real, what's authentic.
While Murphy says she's not sure she'll do another silence day, she is holding on to one key lesson from a monk.
He recommended just 30 minutes a day, like separating yourself from your phone. You have to practice to get to that place where you can find that silence.
A silence that can speak volumes. Jared Hill, CBS News, Morristown, New Jersey.
Some people online have reported that there was so much interest at some retreat centers, waiting lists are months long. Well, Americans are uneasy about the economy heading into the fall. 36% of people surveyed in a new CBS News YouGov poll said the economy is good, a 3-point drop from July. 61% described the economy as uncertain, while 54% said struggling. The poll finds Americans' outlook varies by income level. People making over $100,000 a year overwhelmingly say the economy is good, while a majority of those making less than $50K say it's bad. President Trump's pick to join the Federal Reserve Board of Governors faced tough questions on Capitol Hill during the confirmation hearing Thursday. The president tapped Stephen Moran, one of the top economic advisors, to serve the remainder of the term vacated by retiring Fed Board Governor Adriana Kugler. Democrats repeatedly pressed Moran about whether he would preserve the independence of the central bank.
You are going to be technically an employee of the President of the United States, but an independent member of the Board of the Federal Reserve? That's ridiculous.
I'm committed to the independence of the Federal Reserve.
Are you Donald Trump's puppet?
Not at all. I'm very independently minded, as shown by my willingness to stray from consensus and have out-of-consensus views, and I believe that, I will continue to be as independent, in my thinking process, if confirmed.
President Trump has been pressuring the Fed to cut interest rates and recently moved to fire Fed Board Governor Lisa Cook over allegations of mortgage fraud. The Federal Reserve could potentially lower interest rates at its next meeting later this month. Oil giant ConocoPhillips says it plans to slash up to a quarter of its workforce worldwide, impacting as many as 3,200 employees. It's part of the company's efforts to cut costs. The news comes as the job market shows more signs of cooling. The Labor Department reports that U.S. employers posted around 7.2 million vacancies in July. That's down from 7.4 million the month before. And Amazon Prime is ending a program that let members share accounts with people outside their households for shipping benefits. The company says the Prime Invitee program will end on October 1st. Instead, Amazon is now encouraging users who don't live with the account holder to get their own subscription with a 1-year membership offer for just $14.99 the first year. The company is also rolling out its Amazon Family program for account sharing within the same household. A final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, in a country where a third of American adults have at least one tattoo, is there still a stink over the ink? Then on KOAM News at 6, hear more about the life of fallen KCK officer Hunter Simoncic. Plus, new owners of the old Camptown Greyhound Park prepare for grand opening. And in sports, see how Pitt State and MSSU stack up against this week's opponents. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6.
Well, we have had some rain chances the last couple of days. We're not quite out of the woods yet. Today, temperatures got up to the low 80s. So overall, just gorgeous day today. Tomorrow, we've got overcast skies and scattered showers most of the day. That's going to be dropping temperatures down to the low 70s tomorrow and mid to upper 70s all weekend. But you can see we dry back out this weekend. Overall, a really nice little fall-like weekend, but as we head through next week, temperatures start to warm right back up. We go through a bit of a dry spell as well, so we are not getting a lot more rain chances, but those temperatures are getting into the upper 80s, near 90 next week, so we get another little taste of summertime before fall really starts to settle in.
I'm just happy that it's not getting well into the 90s like we've already had this summer, so I'm still appreciating what it is.
Me too, can't complain.
Thanks so much, Lindsay. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll be back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.